Hello, St. Paul's! It's Wednesday, March 9th, the first week of Lent, and we are beginning a Lenten devotional series about wilderness. This coming Sunday, we will hear about God's covenant with Abraham, and that his wife Sarah will bear a child and bless all people through their descendants. But Sarah is old, and they're not sure how this could happen, so they take matters into their own hands. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, bore him no children. She had an Egyptian slave girl whose name was Hagar, and Sarai said to Abram, "You see that the Lord has prevented me from bearing children. Go in to my slave girl. It may be that I shall obtain children by her." And Abram listened to the voice of his wife. He went in to Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, she looked with contempt on her mistress. Then Sarai said to Abram, "May the wrong done to me be on you. I gave you my slave girl to your embrace, and when she saw that she had conceived, she looked on me with contempt. May the Lord judge between you and me." But Abram said to her, "Your slave girl is in your power. Do to her as you please." Then Sarai dealt harshly with her, and she ran away. The angel of the Lord found her by a spring of water in the wilderness, the spring on the way to Shur. And the angel said, "Hagar, where have you come from, and where are you going?" She said, "I am running away from my mistress, Sarai." The angel of the Lord said to her, "Return to your mistress, submit to her." The angel of the Lord also said to her, "I will so greatly multiply your offspring that they cannot be counted for multitude." And the angel said to her, "Now you have conceived and shall bear a son. You shall call him Ishmael, for the Lord has given heed to your affliction. He shall be a wild ass of a man with his hand against everyone and everyone's hand against him. And he shall live at odds with all his kin." Hagar bore Abram a son, and Abram named him his son, whom Hagar bore, Ishmael. Hagar is alone in the wilderness, a slave forsaken by her master who has nowhere else to turn. And yet God appears to her in the wilderness. She is not directly part of God's chosen family, because she's not an Israelite. But God chooses to speak to her. And even though she's chosen, she doesn't have an easy road ahead of her. In fact, she and Ishmael will be sent out into the wilderness again in chapter 21. But God shows up again and provides for both of them. She's not who we expect to be a chosen one of God, and her life is certainly not easy, but she's invited to be part of God's chosen family. So too, God shows up for us and chooses us, even and especially when we are in wilderness places. We may not be in a physical wilderness, but we each experience wilderness in our own ways. Loneliness, grief, fear, longing for the world to be a better, kinder place. God shows up, and God's Spirit sustains us. Maybe it's through a friend calling out of the blue when we're feeling lonely. Maybe it's knowing that there are other people afraid of the same things, and we're not in this alone. Maybe it's remembering that God made heaven and earth and all that is in creation, and God is the one who's ultimately in control. Even when we are in the most remote wilderness, God is there with us. Friends, we know that there is so much hatred and violence in the world, and we see that clearly in recent news reports from Ukraine. Our siblings in the South Dakota Synod have invited us to join in their practice of praying Psalm 121 every day as a way to respond to the overwhelming grief and despair that people of all backgrounds are experiencing there. I invite you to follow along in your own Bible or to listen along and pray with me. I lift my eyes to the hills, from where is my help to come? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. The Lord will not let your foot be moved, nor will the one who watches over you fall asleep. Behold, the keeper of Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun will not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will preserve you from all evil and will keep your life. The Lord will watch over your going out and your coming in from this time forth forevermore. Our help comes from the Lord. Lord, have mercy on us, your people, as we wander through the wilderness and perils unknown. Amen.